Hi there, Spencer Bronte here, and we're back with Fact Time number 5. Today we're going to talk about a subject that is very close to my heart, and it always has been. We're going to touch on a subject within marine biology. We're going to talk about squid today. That will hopefully get you really excited. Squid are amazing, wonderful creatures. They're highly, highly intelligent. You see pictures of them online, you see them on TV documentaries, you see them in aquariums, you even see them all over clothes and jewelry and tote bags and artwork all the time, and all that is great for me. But hopefully, just scratching the tiniest surface today will get you interested to learn more, because we certainly can't cover all that comprises the wonderful world of squids today. So I'm going to once again be aided by some models here. I have a model of a giant squid, and so nice model here, nice and large. But this is going to be a way I'll just show you some of the different body parts on a squid in general, not just a giant squid. Giant squid are amazing on their own. They're fantastic. They've boggled my mind since before I fully understood what a giant squid even was, but I realized there's something giant in the ocean. We barely know what it is. That's amazing. The first photographs of a live giant squid were actually made in 2004, and the first video of a live giant squid was actually from 2012. Both of these were done by Japanese researchers. Before that, we knew of giant squid from bodies that had washed ashore or been found in the stomachs of sperm whales who hunt and predate on giant squid. I gotta hand it to the sperm whales. They're gutsy animals to take on something like this. But I would recommend searching for those photographs and those videos online. They're amazing and definitely well worth checking out. But back to our squid body plan, just briefly, I'll show you here. One of the main things that I want you to take away from this video is the difference between tentacles and arms. You always hear, octopus and squid and all these things have tentacles and arms. So which is it? Which term is okay? Which term is wrong? Are they both okay? Do they mean something different? And I'll actually tell you that they mean something different. So in a way, they're both okay, but only for their respective parts. So here's this. Here's the portion we're looking at here. And this will actually be easier if I get my smaller model, so I'll do that now. So this is also a small model of a giant squid. And if you look here, we've got the body. This is called the mantle. And we actually have the fins here, and that helps in directional travel. So they actually travel in this direction, even though they look like kind of like a little, deep sea rocket ship down here going that way. They're not going to space. They're just, scooting around looking for fish and things to eat. Their eyes are here, obviously, and all their major organs are inside here. This little spot right there, which you can kind of see better on our large one, is actually the siphon. It jets water out, so it can actually go in this direction as well, even though it doesn't normally, if it needs to scoot away or something. It can squirt water out there. But back to the topic at hand, arms and tentacles. Well, they have both, again. And the arms, it actually has 8 of, and that are these shorter things here. And yes, they have suction cups, and yes, they work just fine. They can grab onto things, but their main tools for capturing prey are the tentacles, these much longer things. And these are the ones that end in that kind of a sucker pad. And again, I'll grab my large model here, bear with me. And you can see that sucker pad here is much larger than the rest. And this is almost like rod-like. It comes out and then it ends in this actual sucker pad, kind of like our hands do. We've got this long arm and we don't do much with it other than it gives us distance and flexibility, and then we can grab on with these. They do the same sort of thing. Again, the arms have tentacles as well, so they're great, but it has the option of reaching out much farther than the arms with these tentacles. Can grab things, gives it a lot of distance, grab it, bring it in, and then with the arms it can manipulate the prey, tackle the item it's just figuring out and touching and trying to figure out what it is. Squid are very curious, so they do that too. So they're not just feeding, they're actually grabbing and touching things, and they can do all that once they grab the item here and then bring it back. They can, also, use this to touch things as well, but they're just an excellent, excellent way to give the animal the ability to reach beyond the arms with those tentacles. So I will now switch to another model of sorts. One of my favorites. It's a stuffed squid. It is a stuffed giant squid again, and you can just see a few of the features a little bit better. So once again we have, and this is not exactly to scale, but once again we have the arms here, and then we have the tentacles with, again, the sucker pad. No suckers on the little stuffed guy here. But inside they're cylindrical, and inside that center right here, around where the base of the arms and the tentacles come out, is actually where the beak is. So this is the beak right in here, and you can see that. And one of the most fascinating things is right behind that beak is obviously the esophagus, but the brain of squid, all squid, not just giant squid, of the squid is actually a ring shape, and it goes around the esophagus, so that actually limits how big of a meal they can swallow, otherwise they may get brain damage. One of the best ways, I think, to actually learn about squid is, if you're comfortable with it, you can eat them. I recommend buying them unbutchered, buying them whole with their, guts inside, guts still intact, and you will actually have to learn how to open up a squid and pull certain parts out, get the ink sac out and everything. You may have done something very similar in biology class. That's a great way to, even a better way to learn, because it's generally guided properly. But you can learn just, from a seafood market and, a cookbook of sorts. I learned how to dissect a squid in biology class in college, and then I learned how to prepare a squid culinarily in my kitchen after reading a book about, after reading a quick portion in a book about how to take care of squid in your kitchen, how to, get their stuff out, their insides out. I'm sure you can find guides online, and they're probably, tutorial videos and all that. And this is one of the great ways we can remember that culinary arts and science often go hand in hand. But what I would recommend, if you can, is just learn more about these amazing creatures. Just get a book if you can. Again, online is a great resource. I've got some books here that this is one of my favorites here. This Encyclopedia of Marine Invertebrates. It's out of print. It's quite old, so it's a little outdated, but it's still a vital resource for me. If they ever have a second edition, I will buy it pretty much immediately. But I'm going to go to the page where we've got some photographs of squid, and you can see just some of the kinds that you have. And they seem to sometimes have this shape where they actually curl their arms backwards. I've heard that they may be resting when they're doing that. I've heard that's in question, but if a actual cephalopod specialist or squid biologist who's more updated and does actual research and knows something, let me know. I'd love to know. I think about this stuff, when I'm trying to go to sleep at night. And then I'll be helped by the wonderful photography of Jacques Cousteau here, and you can see this amazing school of squid. And there's just lots to see. They're amazing to watch because they can change color. They have chromatophores, and they can actually control these little tiny color pits, is what they really look like. And they can flash. They can do all these sorts of amazing things, which we can't do and most animals can't do. And frankly, we don't have a full understanding what it exactly means. And if you have a local aquarium, I would leave you with the suggestion, when things open back up after our quarantine, get into that aquarium. If they've got squid, you can find out beforehand. Aquarium's a good, accredited, safe aquarium that treats its animals right and has good science education is always worth visiting, but especially if they have squid. I think probably the longest time I've ever spent standing in one spot in an aquarium while not working on shift was watching squid. They're amazing, and they are well worth seeing in person. And if you can't see squid, most aquariums have something like an octopus, cuttlefish. Some even have nautili or the nautilus, and those are amazing as well. You can never go wrong with cephalopods. And squid are a kind of cephalopod, as are the tentacled animals. Squids, octopus, and octopuses is actually proper, and cuttlefish, and nautili nautilus. And that actually includes some extinct animals like ammonites, and they're in the same group, the cephalopods, as well. But hopefully you enjoyed this talk about squids in general. And again, we just scratched the surface, but I've certainly enjoyed talking about it since they're something I absolutely love and adore. But thank you for watching if you've gotten this far. This video got a little bit long, but you know, they're squid. How can you not talk about them? Leave me some comments or some thoughts about anything you might like to see in future. Thanks very much, and until next time.